Hi there, everybody. It's James, and welcome to Corby Town. And this isn't the third time I've done this opening. If you've been enjoying, like, comment, subscribe, right down there. It's all cool, fun. Thank you very much for doing that. Anyways, we are back, and we're looking at Kieran. The reason why we're looking at Kieran is that Kieran is wanted by two clubs, and he's been a great servant for the club for a long period of time. But it may be time to start looking at moving him on, especially because we've gotten bigger and better and stronger. They say he could improve significantly more in the future. I'm not 100% sure on that. He's definitely a solid left back, right back option. But we've got Markov and Nguyen Han ahead of him, plus Silvar and Igor behind him. We've got a lot of talent coming through, and granted, I know he's 21, and it looks too soon to move him on, but if we get the right offer, we may move him on. We're getting a lot of that. I mean, Joe Jackson is one of my clubs, Graham Gabby, Pete Pavi, Luke Collins, Mikel Antiga, Ferguson, Ray Last. Ray Last is somebody who I'd let go. And Vedrano, who has asked me about getting loaned out because he's not getting enough playing time. I'd let him go. So just to shrink the squad a little bit. If you also noticed, we've had two injuries. Hugo Pierce broke his arm, and he's going to be out for 6 to 9 weeks, which isn't ideal. And Minhan twisted his ankle and had to come off, and he's out for at least another 12 to 4 weeks. 12 days to 4 weeks. So it means Gendry has been brought into service, and obviously he is a very good left back. It is preferred over Ferguson at the moment because he's just a bit better in the attacking sense. But all in all, things have been good. Besides from that, we have enough midfielders. Chris Hewitt has found this position to be his own, and I think we've switched it over to a box-to-box role, and he is really starting to thrive in it. He's got 3 goals and 3 assists, not as much as the deep line playmaker, but he is providing solid performances. I mean, last 5 games shows you right there. He's at 7.10. And yeah, as for Andre Caravel, I found something interesting here. We spent some money on some guys who will be coming in January, which we'll talk about when January comes, next episode. But I've noticed here that Leicester are unlikely to want to sell him, but he's interested in coming, which could mean something. To have an Italian midfielder of his quality could be something here. He does a lot of good things for us, and I'm happy. So who knows? To talk about Fatoshi, I want to come back and talk about Fatoshi, because if you guys were in here last episode, we talked about Fatoshi. We talked about how I saw him as more of a backup striker and then a Champions League winning striker. And I know there's still a long time to talk about this, but he's been good for us in the short term. I mean, he's got 21 goals overall, 11 in the league, 1 in the FA Cup, 8 in the Caballero Cup, 1 in the Papa John's. But that being said, that's in 16 starts? 16 starts to off the bench. If we look at Andrea, who's had 10 starts, 13 off the bench, he's got 13 goals and 10 in the league. And that just kind of goes to show you that this guy just has a little bit more, has about the same about him as Fatoshi has. Now, he's not as mentally or physically gifted, but he's got the technicals right here that you look to. And I've seen him do some nice stuff with the ball. Do I think he's a Champions League winning striker? No, I don't. But it just goes to show you, in 17 games, 10 goals, he's got something about him, for sure. That all being said, let's talk about where we've been. Since we were last here against the Chelsea game, a run has gone on. We have played well. We have continued to continue Rotherham and Gillingham in the FA Cup. Wins abundant. Bristol City, we played a rotated side and got through on the Papa John's trophy, which we'll be playing Ipswich next after the whole game. You won't be seeing that. You guys are probably going to see Leeds January 1. I think that'll be a good game. We also have Aston Villa in the Caballero Cup, which will be an interesting one. So, fun stuff all around here. But we're here for Hull, because Hull are supposed to be second place now in the league. Now they're 8th, so a little bit them not matching up to form, as you would expect. But who knows? They're supposed to have the best left back, left midfielder, and right winger in the league, while we have the best, some of the other better ones there. Who knows? And apparently it's the best of the best matching up today. We'll do that. And as for our lineup, given the injuries and everything that's gone on, we've got Watson Gold, Jackson, Jebby, Pavi, and Markov, Hewitt and Carnival, Collins, Stevenson, Antigua, and Sakurai leading the line, with a bench of Montez, Nygor, Patterson, Ferguson, Vieira, and Andrea. Andrea's got a little bit of an injury, but I don't think he will be forced into things today. We've got Patterson, and we've got Nygor, who can handle the wings and striker if need be. But should be a good test. We're still on a winless or a winning streak, so let's hope things go well for us. And Hull doesn't look like they have that full of a stadium, which is kind of upsetting. Positive to start off with, as always, just to kind of see how we fill into the game. And wow, apparently we're not getting a lot of possession here. Oh, there it goes. Graham getting his booking, as always. As is tradition with the Corby Town size, one of our defenders has to get a booking. Let's go a little bit more attacking here. This is interesting. This is one of the few games where we're 20 minutes in, there's no highlights, and we haven't controlled possession. I figure normally we're the ones taking care of that, but it looks like nobody's really having a great game besides Pavi and Watts. And their defensive midfielder, Divine. Boy, this is making me glad that I went and I kind of padded at the beginning for you guys. It has been a dull game. Oh, look, a highlight, finally. As Jackson just throws it to the opposition, then comes back and makes a save, and Carnival is able to get it to Watts, who will get a nice little distribution out, finds Pavi, Antigua heads down, but can't win it. Illich to Markov, who thumps it forward, tries to get Sakurai, doesn't get it. Beckett on it, nice deflection, falls to Antigua, who can cut in here, which he doesn't, he just decides to kick it against him, but wins the ball back. Collins back out to Antigua. He had Markov on the overlap, but didn't go for it. Stevenson's here. Hold up play is good. Antigua can turn and shoot. Nope. Hewitt, Markov. Nope. Markov again. Gendry Markov for this first goal of the season. You know, it took them long enough. I have to look in instructions here in a second. Do these guys not have shoot less often on or something? Hewitt, Markov, deflection, Markov, goes past his man. I mean, it's a great finish by Markov. You can't take that away from him. I have to look at something. We'll look at it at halftime. We're close enough to it now. I mean, we are a second half team. We've been over that plenty of times before, but it just boggles the mind a little bit. Yeah, almost 10,000 people. Granted, still more than we can do. We've got faith. Got faith. Tactics. I need to look at the individual player. Mark tighter, tackle harder. Mark tighter, tackle harder. Take more risks. Roam from position, tackle harder, mark tighter. Dribble less. I don't even think we need to do dribble less with them. Target that. Get forward. Yeah, I'm happy with all that. Start the second half. Just weird that you have like 5 wingers in the box who you think you could turn and fire it, and nobody does. Granted, Stevenson and Antigua aren't really having inspiring games here. Maybe we are going to have to bring Andre in. Sakurai's not having a good game either. It's been all the defense. Oh, Carnival, Jebby doesn't get it in. We had a game where both of our center backs scored headers. Granted, Jebby wasn't playing. It was Joseph David Martinez and Pavi. Jebby's just not having a great game. I think he's been turned. His head's been turned a little bit because he got big teams are interested in him. And wow, okay. Let's just do this. Nygor in for him. Collins out for Patterson. And I didn't say I wasn't going to do it, but I think Andrea can run 20 minutes, even with a little bit of an injury, because that front three just isn't doing anything today. And Sakurai, I mean, isn't really getting much in the way of service. So I guess I can't really complain too much, but that's the other problem is that, you need a striker who you want to be able to do things for you, create for you, something for nothing, even when other players are having a bad game around him, and it's just not. As the entire back line in midfield is exhausted, Nygor here, corners in. There's Graham with his 4th goal of the season. Great delivery by Nygor, and I think we can call it to bed. Call this one. Call it to bed? Call it done. Call it dusted. Call it whatever you want. Just don't call me Shirley. And yeah, good for us. We only had the one booking, which is good for us. Tick, 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 tick. Can we get it done? And there it is. Beautiful. Done and dusted. A really kind of crap game. But you want to know what? It shows the steel of the team when the defense can show up when the offense just doesn't want to. And I think 2-0 is unfavorable for Hull. They played a lot better. And you think about it, 2 defenders on the score sheet here is absolutely insane. But, yep. So next episode is going to be the FA Cup clash versus, we said it was Leeds. Yep, in the FA Cup 3rd round. That's what we'll come back for. Gives me a chance to play through December and get some of these transfers started. So until then, I've been James. You've been you. This has been Corby Town. Have a good one. And we'll see you next time. All right. Have fun. Bye-bye.